let's try this again. So, a lot of stuff going on here at the shop. It's really smoky in here. Awesome ambiance, I should say, ambiance. Just got done winterizing Lewis's dragster. I will be posting a video about how to do that. It's either been posted or I will be posting it right after this one or the other. I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do yet timeline-wise. Anyways, I've been hauling ass on the RX8. I really wanna drive this car coming this spring. A couple other people wanna get in it as well. As the builder, tuner, connoisseur, whatever you wanna call me, I am not gonna have the time to be able to drive this car as much as I really wanna get this thing out running. So, I probably will have a couple people involved as well that might drive it. But I've been trying to haul ass and get things done on it to be able to drive. As you can see, turbo's on the floor, that big old 88 Garrett sitting there, engine sitting here, and I have the firewall finished as far as the sheet metal work there. Cut a ton of stuff out of this thing. So I cut out the floor wells, the inside tunnel there, or tub for the wheel well, cut a ton of stuff out of the back here. You know, started doing all the metal work there. All in all, I cut out 75 pounds on this car. The other thing I did was I gutted the factory doors. Still have the power windows in the front door. The front door weighed 65 pounds. After I gutted it, I got it down to 45. And then the rear door weighed 27. I got it down to 17. I also have glass doors. So if you're paying attention to my video, I would like to paint this car some sort of greenish color. I was thinking about the teal color on this Fox body, something along those lines, maybe a little bit deeper than this color. But comment what you think would look awesome on the RX8. You know, I really don't want to do this weird gray that they had. It's not a bad color, but I just really don't want to do this color. And I would like to keep the fender wells probably some sort of black like that, but not obviously just fiberglass. And I'm gonna do the full interior and engine bay in East Coast gray. The reason why I picked gray is because black is a pain in the ass. It's hard to see what is going on. It darkens up the inside of the car, all that. With having a gray, silver, white, whatever, it makes it a lot brighter in the car. It's easier to see things, work on it, diag it, all that stuff. It's also better at night. So, that being said, I'm really looking forward to getting this thing done. I have a ton of sheet metal work yet to do, and I can finalize the cage at the same time. And when all that's finished, we're going to finalize putting it all together. I weighed this the other day, and it weighed in at 2,100 pounds with the doors on it, and that was with a 480 in it. I would like to go down the road of doing a glide in this car, and when I do that, I would like to get it to be right around like the 2,500 pound range, and we'll go from there. If you guys are familiar with what's going on with this car, the turbo that's on it's the 88 that was on Lewis's 66 Nova. It was also on his 69. A turbo's good for like 2,200 horsepower is what we made before with it. So hopefully we'll get some good, you know, numbers out of it as well on this car. On his car, we went a 420 with this turbo. It went a 423 at like 170 mile an hour, somewhere around there. I forget exactly what it was. So definitely some potential there. I don't exactly have the motor for it, but I'm going to be putting some stuff together. We have a ton of stuff going on in the engine bay room if you pay attention to my Instagram or my Facebook. I have a bunch of engines I'm building over there, and one of them is actually for the RX8. So that's kind of one of the things. Like I said, I want to do a big a power glide in it, like a good, you know, well-built setup. I would still like to be able to eventually mess around with the 480 that I was planning to put in the car, but for right now, just to get the thing out there, get it running, do our stuff, we're going to do the glide. So one of the other things I wanted to kind of show is I have a guy that works for me. His name's Nate. He has been tearing into the RX3. Now he has quite a mess over here because he's not very good at cleaning up, but the RX3 is now off of its frame. The frame table is here at the shop, and he has started cutting into it and tearing into what needs to be done to get this car to where it is actually going to be a car that's usable. So he cut a lot of the tube work out. We're gonna put some new stuff in there and get rolling, and then I'm gonna start doing the front chassis work here that you see and get this thing to where it's actually going to be a pretty cool car. Nate and I this week will be leaving and going to Houston, Texas. My buddy Andy Granger, who's like, his car is on my channel like years back, is a black ZL1. I will be going there. He owns a shop called CSF Performance, and we will be hanging out with him for a couple days. I'm going to Circle D to talk to them. And at the same time, when I do all of that, I am leaving on Saturday while I'm down there, and I'm going to Belize. I'm doing a marine conservation trip in Belize with a company called Reef CI. And what I'm doing is I will be hunting lionfish for a week. No cell service on an island about 25 miles off the coast, 20 miles, whatever it is. And I will be hunting lionfish 3 times a day. Scuba diving 3 times a day. Something new, something different. For those of you that are familiar with what I do in my free time outside of racing and shop stuff, I love doing marine conservation work. I've done work down in Tampa. I've done stuff in Puerto Rico, and it's something I really I just love doing it. I would like to give back. You know, we do a lot of stuff here with racing and all that kind of stuff, and you would think, oh, Brad never does anything like that. Like, it's actually something I'm really interested in doing and being more involved in. This is something I wanted to do for a while. I signed up. I had to go through a whole process to even be accepted, and once I was accepted, I kind of had to make it work with the work schedule here. We're always busy here at PSR, so it's hard for me to just walk away. And for me, I know this demographic of what we do well enough to know that December and January are usually our slowest months. So for me to take a little bit over a week off isn't a big deal going into December right before Christmas. So that's why I chose to go now. I will be leaving and flying into Belize. I'm going to try and document everything I can to the best of my ability with my cell phone and my GoPro that I'm using right now. So hopefully I can give you guys like a good background on what I do down there and how it all works. And I would love to be able to do it again. Out of pocket, it cost me about $2,000. And a lot of the people that do this in this volunteer situation actually do like GoFundMe, stuff like that. I paid for this all on my own. It was one of those things where I just wanted to do it enough to get involved, to know what goes on and all that. And then from there, once I'm more familiar with it and I can see what it does to give back, you know, I would love to do it again and, you know, make it worthwhile to do it as well. So I'll be documenting all of that. And when I come back, we're gonna really get Boogie in here on the RX8 even further. We're doing some stuff with, you see Serrano's car sitting here. We're gonna be going over some stuff with his car. We went to World Cup, and I didn't even post the video footage of it, but we went to World Cup, and his car went 7:08 in the quarter mile, and we barely had any wood to it, basically. That was on 30 pounds of boost. I've run this car to 42 pounds before, so there's a lot left in this thing, and really was hoping we could get a little bit further along with it than we did. But, you know, it is what it is. It's part of the process. It's what happens. So moving forward, we're going to do a couple things this thing over the winter and, you know, be back out with it in the spring. Also doing some stuff to the Malibu with him. And then, like I said, my biggest thing is I've been putting in crazy man hours on the RX8 and really hoping to see this thing go down track come spring. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll try and post as much as I can on my trip to Belize and try not to snot all over the places I'm doing it. Really hoping that as I get there, I start feeling better. I get out of this cold weather. It was literally 25 degrees at my house this morning. So I'm hoping that once I get down there, I start feeling better. Scuba diving with a sinus deal is always a pain in the ass. The coolest part, and probably the most disgusting, is every time I've had any kind of sinus pressure before, you go scuba diving, that pressure that you're in literally works it all out. So while you're diving, you'll end up with just tons of snot coming out. It's really, really attractive. So usually first dive, that's all done, ready to go. Salt water helps really well with cleaning it out as well. So I'm hoping it really does, you know, turn into an awesome trip for me. Like I said, I'm gonna try and document everything I can. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to do more stuff and post more going into 2024.